What you just saw used to take months, and sometimes even years. A team of architects, engineers, estimators, renderers, and so on, all sitting in different software, passing files back and forth and redrawing the same lines they've drawn 1,000 times before. Higharc just did it in a matter of minutes. From a hand-drawn napkin sketch to a fully buildable home with construction documents, structural documents, cost estimates, and renders, all from one AI prompt. Nobody has done this before, and in this video, I'm going to show you how it works. To understand why this matters, you have to understand what's broken about the way we design buildings today. Vedas, an AI engineer, spent the early part of his career as a structural engineer at Arup, designing buildings the old way. Here's how he describes the problem.
If we counted the tooling in AEC in its current form, imagine my specialty was designing data centers, and I had designed 1,000 data centers before. When I use existing tooling in AEC, if I'm designing my 1,001st data center, I have the knowledge in my head of how to design that data center, but my tooling doesn't reflect that, right? In the tooling layer, I still need to draw every line in the BIM model, or maybe I copy and pasted something sort of similar from a different project, but I'm kind of doing it from scratch.
Every project starts from zero. Decades of expertise live in the architects' and designers' heads and not in the tools they use. Higharc's AI special projects team set out to fix that, and the end result is something we have been speculating about for a few years. Now here's the demo. Watch what happens when you upload a hand-drawn floor plan into Higharc.
So what I'm going to demo here is an end-to-end pipeline that our founder, Michael Bergen, has come up with. And this basically compresses the timeline for home builders from months to minutes for them to kind of start with a hand-sketched floor plan. So once we kind of kick off this process, we upload a hand-drawn floor plan. And what's happening now is our coworker Artavan Begoli's computer vision models are going to start reading the lines and ways that this floor plan was sketched, and it's going to interpret those and understand them and parse them into our BIM-like model within the Higharc platform. So you can kind of see that very quickly our computer vision model was able to parse and identify those rooms. And yeah, because it's within our Higharc platform, we can already pull 100% construction drawings that you can see here on the right. So as we kind of keep going through this, we can see that not only do we have a BIM model, we actually have structural framing, joists, windows, doors. And because we have that structural framing, we can immediately pull cost estimates. Now, what we're also demoing here is basically making BIM edits to a home model and doing that just through natural language. So here, we're just going to chat with our AI agent and ask it to move a garage wall. And you have to kind of look here, the user approves, and then the wall pops out kind of 4 feet, just like it's been prompted. So here we can see on the left, the hand sketch where the garage door wall was, and then it moved 4 feet, just like the user requested. So continuing this chat with our home building agent, we're now going to generate a 3D rendering using diffusion models. So here we're just going to see what this home could look like on a beautiful lakeside. And then we can kind of steer the diffusion model to render it in a different way. So let's see what this same home would look like for a watercolor rendering. And so that whole end-to-end pipeline of starting with a hand sketch that you could have found on a job site to 3D renderings takes minutes rather than months.
Sketch to BIM to construction documents to renders in minutes and not months. The obvious question is, why has nobody done this before? The answer comes from Manuel. He's the architect turned machine learning engineer who cracked the core problem. The breakthrough idea was deceptively simple. What if a building is just another kind of language?
The moment that I put language and BIM models together was that they are kind of hierarchical systems, right? Like language, in a sense, you can summarize it by, or if we think about text, you can really say, okay, there's the body, there are paragraphs, there are sentences, there are words, and those words contain characters. So it's a kind of layer hierarchical system. And I thought homes are kind of the same in a way. You have levels, you have areas, you have rooms within those areas. Those rooms have entities like walls, doors. So it's kind of, if you put them together, it's kind of similar thing.
So Manuel built a transformer, the same kind of model that powers ChatGPT. But instead of predicting the next word in a sentence, it predicts the next entity in a building. He found a way to tokenize a building. Plenty of machine learning researchers have tinkered with this problem. The results have been famously bad, like floor plans with 3 sinks in the master bathroom, staircases leading nowhere, And the problem isn't the AI, it's that almost nobody combines deep architectural knowledge with deep machine learning expertise. Manuel is one of the few people in the world who does both, and that is the moat. So what does this actually unlock? Manuel puts it like this.
So basically, this whole system is like allows people to kind of to design as naturally as, you know, like they talk, meaning like we're removing the expertise layer that this complex software, you know, entails. So basically now everyone that can read can design now their own homes.
So what our AI system does is it kind of brings that cumulative intelligence of home building and puts it into the tooling layer. So when you use the Higharc software, it's already aware of home layouts using kind of Manuel's invention. You know, if I start drafting up a kitchen, the AI kind of says, oh, I've seen kitchens before in home building, and you probably want a countertop here, you probably want the furniture arranged in a certain way, and it's going to kind of auto-complete that for you.
Right now, this is built specifically for production home builders, companies putting up 50 or more homes a year, and the team has been quite clear. Try to upload a bridge or a skyscraper and it just won't work, but the research concepts they've published map to other architectural typologies. Other people will run this playbook for data centers, for high rises, for everything else, and Higharc just got there first. Now this is quite exciting for us at Bricks and Bytes. We've been speaking to a number of people in this space who are doing this kind of work, and we've been asking them, when exactly do you think speech to design will be possible? Looks like we finally might have the answer, which I'm sure you would agree is super, super exciting. If you enjoyed this and you want to dive into some similar videos about technology shaping the future of design, construction, architecture, and so on, please hit subscribe. Thank you.